Hey guys, this is Dreadbane joined by Sapphire. This is game 3 in the ace match of the Zaz Open. Now, our players, of course, the Legionnaire, the red Protoss, and Kotlz, the yellow Zerg. Now, this is fittingly Lost Temple, so really looking forward to this, Seth.
Yeah, this I love any series that goes to an ace match. This is the best of three, and this one's for all the marbles. Whoever wins this wins the Zaz Open. Now, if you guys didn't know, the Zaz Open actually gets its name from the player Zaz, who organizes and runs this tournament all by himself, and it's a really great tournament, and it's a weekly. So if you haven't, check it out on Team Liquid, and these replays and everything is provided by Zaz. So huge shout out to him. And yeah, really, once Kotlz scouts this out and realizes that they are cross-positional, he's going to be absolutely loving this because this is a really great situation as a Zerg player on Lost Temple. You want them to be far away, and cross-positional is nice. He can have an expansion party, and none of his Legionnaire's units are going to be invited, so he's going to love this. What I am curious is to whether he's going to open up with the same opening that we've seen in the last two games. It worked in the first instance. It was that really aggressive opening, but Legionnaire was prepared for it in the second, and got his own macro up and actually out macroed Kotlz despite that early expansion. So curious to see what builds we're going to see from both players. Once again, Legionnaire going for that 13 gate and looking like saving for a 14 pool here, and we do see the pool going down for Kotlz. So really it's very similar openings thus far, but curious if we're going to see Kotlz go straight into that hatchery very, very early on, or whether he's actually going to throw down some gas. And once again, looking like that little bit of delayed gas coming from Legionnaire. He's at 15 supply, not going for that 13 gate into 15 gas that we've seen so common lately. He has been favouring the 17 in this matchup. So interesting opening from both players, looking like Legionnaire sticking to his gameplay. No, he does throw down second gateway before gas, so this is a different build coming from Legionnaire. So not sure, and looking like Kotlz is saving up for this hatchery, and there goes the drone out. So Kotlz is going the same build, but Legionnaire is mixing it up. So curious if this is going to work out for Kotlz.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of these games go for quite long, so I do wonder if one of these players would try and end this quite early, maybe with some early aggression. It certainly looks like Legionnaire will be trying that at the start, really looking to punish Kotlz when he finds him, because he hasn't scouted him just yet. His drone, of course, his probe, sorry, not going to the right one straight away. So have to see if he double pushes with these early zealots, because that's all he seems to have right now. No cybernetics core anytime soon from the looks of things. He is getting this assimilator though, so we'll have to see how that works out as the probe is about to find this expansion.
Yeah, first of all, Zerglings, now 6 Zerglings, those extra 2 being produced, coming to shut down this probe as we see these Zealots streaming across the map. The drone being pulled back, and there's going to be 4 Zerglings against this Zealot and probe, getting a surround. Oh, very nice by Kotlz. Very nice surround, even pulling his lings off so he doesn't lose any. Really, really nice execution there by Kotlz. Look at those 2 lings, got low but did not die whatsoever. He took out that Zealot really cleanly, and unfortunately though, 2 more Zealots coming in. He does not want to get us around. Nice micro there, back and forth by Legionnaire. The shields go down, but he's able to work on these Zerglings, and these Zerglings are so low right now, falling all the way back to his expansion. But of course, this is cross-positional on Lost Temple, so it's a long way for Legionnaire to run. So this double gateway, despite constantly pumping Zealots, is actually probably going to hurt him a little bit, because now Kotlz is happily thrown down this expansion. He's defended it nicely, and he has a bunch of Zerglings, so he may even think about testing the defenses of Legionnaire, who is pulling back to his ramp, and he's transitioning now with that second assimilator coming online, getting warp gates online, so trying to steady on a bit on this Zealot production, looking to switch into more of a gas-based build. But meanwhile, we are seeing more Zerglings being produced by Kotlz, so looking like he is interested in having a crack at Legionnaire. So this is a really interesting start to this game. I'm not sure whether these Zerglings are going to be able to get in this base, because Legionnaire has really solid micro, and that first stalk is coming out now, so I don't imagine that Legionnaire is going to surrender his ramp here.
There's already 22 Zerglings on the field now, about to see what's going on at this ramp. There's a bunch of these Zealots now though, so he should be okay with a couple more Stalkers on their way to really reinforce that. So I wouldn't imagine they'd be able to do too much as long as he keeps his wall fortified there with those Zealots. He should be okay, as these cannons are now being put on the ridge. So Legionnaire looking to really reinforce this base early on, really looking to get this robotics facility up, which he's halfway done now. So I mean, as far as Kotlz is concerned, he did get his expansion. He hasn't lost anything quite yet, as these Zerglings are about to hit just now, so we have to see these Zealots hold this off.
Yeah, I thought he might wait for Zergling speed, but no, he's just looking to see if he can get a free run by off. But this really nice cannon is great position. It's on top of this cliff, and this cliff is such a strong point for Protoss. It can take all those free shots before they even get to the ramp, and then they're blocked at the ramp by the Zealots. And meanwhile, while this is happening, that forces to go down to enable those cannons, so he does get +1. But we are seeing 2 gate into Robo for Legionnaire, and he's throwing down his own expansion. Meanwhile, these Zerglings still with no speed, trying to rush in, trying to deny this expansion, going into these Zealots. Do not like this from Kotlz. They're taking so many death shots from this cannon and these Stalkers. So, bit unfortunate there. Still more Zerglings being produced from Kotlz. He must be thinking he can breach the base somehow. And I don't like this because he's falling behind in Harvesters. Already he had that advantage of 31/28, but now... Legionnaire's got that advantage of 31/28, and now Legionnaire's going to pull further and further ahead because Kotlz is just continuing to build these Zerglings, and Legionnaire's defensive position is very, very nice right now. He has this cannon, he has forward positioning on his ramp, and another cannon warping in, so I got to be careful that he doesn't get surrounded here, and he does get that surround. Few emergency force fields coming off, but all these Zerglings coming in. Legionnaire obviously did not expect this many Zerglings from Kotlz. The force fields were able to save the Stalk a little bit, but this surround is very, very nice. So these Zerglings are paying off with this composition, but these cannons going to work, taking out a bunch of Zerglings, and these Zealots very nicely microed there by Legionnaire, pulling back, only losing 1 of the reinforcements. So that was a good... well, in a way, I still think he went a little bit too heavy on those Zerglings, but it did enable him to defend that push out from Legionnaire, and Legionnaire is once again contained. This is a bit of a missed rally point. This is really, really unfortunate. These Zerglings should not be there, but now he is streaming the rest of his units in. This is a bit of a mixed-up attack by Kotlz. He has idle Zerglings sitting at the Zelnaga, surrounding those Zealots. This Sentry somehow flees, gets a nice force field off to flee, and more of those Zerglings that should have been involved in the first attack coming in now. But the second cannon warping in, goes for the run by, gains the base, importantly will pick up this robotics bay. Going to get a surround on this Zealot. You're not going to last very long. Bad luck, Zealot. You're out of here. Somehow the Zealot survives an extra hit. Bit of a misclick by Kotlz, and he's trying to work on this robo. But the important thing is scouting, but he's sacrificed a bunch of lings. And once Legionnaire cleans this up, he's going to be much more confident pushing out and trying to retake map control.
The robotics bay, I wonder if he actually saw that as far as Kotlz is concerned. He actually threw it up and then cancelled it for the moment. So, yeah, that's a bit weird there. I guess changing his mind, he's actually going to maybe put it on another side, maybe with these other pylons on the very corners there. As more of these drones now moving as... I don't know about that. That is very unlucky there. Some cheap kills there. This cannon is a beast. He's already got 13 kills. And that's just, oh man, that's just unfortunate to see those drones. He did only lose 1, but really, oh man, that's lost mining time. That's just no good.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there by Kotlz, bit of a rally point screw up. Just can happen, especially when you're throwing this much Zergling aggression. Meanwhile, Kotlz is taking a very, very sneaky little expansion here at the 3 o'clock main, and Legionnaire this entire time has been scouting out with his observer. He is so efficient.